Hello all, welcome back to Formula for Speed. I am your host Chad, and I'm here with my lovely co-host. Everybody please give a warm welcome to the one and only Babyface. Please say hi, Babyface.
Hi.
Guys, we are here. She's not excited, but I was pumped. I was very excited.
Oh, what is
Even
that?
got notes. Guys, I brought notes. Testing. Formula One's back, guys. Babyface, it's been a lot going on over the winter. Been some stories coming out. Testing was shortened this year, guys, as well as you know. 3 days now, 2 sessions a day. So, I watched testing. Guys, I even wrote some notes down to bring to you all. Babyface, you ready to get into it?
Yeah.
First thing I want to cover, Babyface, your team.
What about them?
Your team has a new floor. Mercedes, guys, has a new floor. Looks kind of fancy. It's because you know, guys, over the winter, Babyface, I'm sure you know, the new regulations have cut down, basically made the car slower. So what you can use for downforce has been pretty much cut down, right? So teams, you all know, they get ingenious, they get fancy. They figure out new ways to bring back the time that they've lost.
Aren't the tires different too, slowing down the cars?
Man, the tires. Guys, the tires are a little different this year. They also brought a hybrid tire with no markings to testing. Guys, let me know in the comments. I personally, what you think about the tires. I personally think, and Babyface, you know this, Pirelli's cool, but go back to Bridgestone. If you all want to make races interesting, here's one sure way to do it. Because, guys, I'm going to get into later on in this discussion how they're bringing sprint races in on a Saturday for some points and Sunday. If you don't want to do all of that, start letting teams use what tire brands they want. Because that'll dictate a race. Because each tire brand has different degradation, different compounds they're made out of. If you want to make a race interesting, maybe McLaren, my boys, use Bridgestone. And maybe Alpine uses Pirelli. Well, depending on what Pirelli tire they use and which Bridgestone I use, I may have to stop only once. They may have to stop twice. It makes for some good interesting racing. So, you know, with all that being said, guys, I wrote a number of notes down. I may stick to it, I may not. I may just let it flow. What I've noticed is overall in testing, guys, for 3 days, which if you guys will go back and watch, Mercedes had an interesting day one. Your team. Gearbox issues. Which, it happens. You know, normally Mercedes comes ready to go. But it happens. Gearbox issues, which cut down on Bottas' running time day one because he was slated first. Now all the other teams went out as normal. Guys, I don't know about you, but let me know in the comments. I feel as though, and Babyface, you can probably attest to this, I feel as though the teams hold back in testing.
I agree.
This year, they didn't have the big screens up. They had to, part of the rules is, you know, you got to show your car, pretty much. So, I know for the photo shoots, Mercedes and as well as McLaren did some edit jobs on the photos. So, you still couldn't see what they were doing with the new floors. My boys, McLaren, with the diffusers, there was a rule about the diffusers, right? And you had to change where they were located. So in order not to lose too much downforce and time, they figured out a loophole in the rules and kind of put it like this. When you look at the back of a McLaren this year, look how the diffusers are placed and it'll make sense. The rest of the teams, let me see. Red Bull and Alpine have high rake, which is interesting. But those two cars look very strong. They look very strong. The Aston Martin, it was good to see Vettel out there, Babyface.
Yeah.
Aston Martin looked good. They have a strong looking car this year. Mercedes customers. My McLaren boys, also this year, guys, Mercedes customers. And ironically, through the testing, because Aston Martin eventually had a problem with the gearbox as well in testing. So, ironically, McLaren didn't have an issue with the gearbox. Danny Rick looked phenomenal, by the way, out there. He looked good. Lando looked strong. My McLaren boys, I have to plug them. Speaking of, I know I touched on Alpine, but Tsunoda, Yuki, rookie driver from Japan, looked good. Pierre Gasly looked strong. I think that's going to be a very competitive team this year, midfield team.
Yeah. Very
competitive. Alfa Romeo, they looked okay. I was thinking about the other teams. Alfa Romeo looked okay. Kimi looked his normal self. Giovinazzi looked okay. Haas. I will say I was excited to see Mick running. You guys let me know in the comments. Babyface, he looked solid.
Yeah.
Nikita he looked solid. He did some solid laps. So I know Haas was saying, like a lot of the other teams with smaller budgets this year, because of the rule changes next year, a lot of the smaller budgeted teams have stopped developing their race car for this year. So they're focused on next year. Makes sense. So Haas already came out and said, guys, as well as you know by now, they're not going to have a competitive car this year. Well, they don't look to be competitive. Makes sense. Now, with Haas babyface not looking to be competitive, I think for the first time, which is very risky, not for them at least, they've gone with 2 rookie drivers. Now, that's interesting because there's no experience there.
Yeah.
So I believe, in a way, it's not bad for them because it allows them to learn, develop that skill set. It allows them to get more familiar with Formula One. I know Nikita in Formula 2 stated, I'm going to bring the same driving style to Formula One. Since then, he's backtracked that. He's stepped back from that. And I think he realizes in Formula One, the goal is to just finish the race.
Yeah.
You don't want to crash out. You don't want to crash anybody else out. So for all in all, I think Haas, I'm not mad at their approach. I actually, I want Mick to do well, and I think that this will allow both of them to develop their skill. I think, again, this will really allow them to grow and, get familiar with Formula One. So moving on from them, babyface, Alonso's back, guys.
Yes, he is.
Alonso's back. He looks like he didn't miss a step. He looks like he never left. He looks good. Even after the accident in, I think, Italy. So he had, guys, if you don't know, he was in an accident, cycling accident, I believe. And he hit his face. And it required him to have titanium plate put in his cheek. In the upper cheek, I believe. But the other surgery is not, he's going to have it after this season. So it's not, major enough to the point. It's not a big enough deal to the point he has to have it now. But what I will say is, I'm thinking, all right, he may not look that great. Guys, Formula One, it's demanding on your body. I mean, your head's moving. They even have things within the cockpit, the monocoque, to keep the airflow from lifting up your helmet. So I'm like, man, I may hurt him. Didn't look like it. So he looked strong. Alcon looked strong, of course. He looked strong. So that car is going to be competitive. I was also looking at Williams. And what's interesting, they let one of their younger Formula 2 guys drive the first day and a half. Then Latifi finally stepped in the car. George Russell got in, I think, day 3. Day 3. So I think they made a step in the right direction for the first time since the new investors have taken over. Something as simple as gearboxes. The new investor said, and guys, it costs a lot of money to build and develop your own parts and things like that. So what they said was, you know what? Why reinvent the wheel? We're already a Mercedes customer. Let's get the gearboxes from them as well. So that'll save them time, money, and resources they can divert to other development areas. So I think that's good for them. Also, looking at my notes, Jenson Button joined them. Jenson Button. So I think that's good for them. I think overall for that team, I think they have a young enough. I like that lineup. So hopefully if Williams could put together a decent enough car, I think they'll be more competitive this year than they were last year, if that makes sense. So I'm happy to see the direction they're going in. They still have the Williams name. They're still holding on to it.
Yeah.
Still have a great young driver in George Russell. Latifi's a good young driver. So I'm happy for them. Again, I was happy to see my guy back, Vettel. I was happy to see him back in a team where he's wanted. He seems to like the power unit in Mercedes. They're working out the gearbox issue. That'll be worked out. I'm going to go watch practice one. Watch the practices for the upcoming race. But I think he's going to be happy with this power unit. And the reason why I say that is because Danny Rick and Lando looked very happy. And from what I can tell, from what I was hearing, McLaren was holding back in testing, like all the teams. I think they picked up on the Mercedes, not only becoming a Mercedes customer, that culture of let's bluff and let's let everything out the bag. Let's not let the cat out the bag too early. Because, Hamilton had a spin out. He switched out pedals, he was switching out positions. He spun out in the gravel, he beached. They had a red flag the session. And so when he beached, he came back, regrouped, went back out. And so after one of the practices, they asked him how he felt. And he said, well, we don't have the quickest car this year. Now, Mercedes, to me, is one of the best teams of bluffing I've ever seen in my life. They do it on the radio in the races, in the Grand Prix about the tires and all this stuff. So you got to take, and I noticed Red Bull has even taken that approach. Well, we're just going to try to do what we do. Everyone's taking, they don't want to let anyone know what they're working with. And apparently, guys, I think, I'll say this. Apparently, they don't have the fastest car on the track. We'll see. But I think this will be a year that if they don't have the fastest car on the track and Hamilton wins his 8th, that's going to be huge for them. Because Red Bull looks strong, and as well as the other teams. I think McLaren is going to be very strong. Perez, for Red Bull, guys, let me know what you thought about him. He looks strong. He looks comfortable in that car. He's that personality with the experience that can match Verstappen. He can match Verstappen as far as what they're asking, right? So I think they're going to be very competitive this year. Of course, I think you'll start seeing. I told you this. I told Babyfaces. Let me know in the comments. I think Mercedes is split this year. Constructors, don't know. Hamilton could get his 8th, but I'm not sure it's going to be a 1-2 Mercedes finish like we've been seeing. Because I think McLaren's going to step up. They look really good. Not just because they're my favorite team, but they look good. Aston Martin looks great. Those Honda engines, even though it's their last year, AlphaTauri and Red Bull look very strong. And they don't look like they're lacking horsepower. So I think they're going to come ready to go. Ferrari found, apparently, guys, according to my notes here, guys, Babyface, guys, they found 20 more horsepower from last year.
What they found was the new head of the FIA.
Guys, I don't know what you make of that. Let me know in the comments. They found more horsepower. There was a technical issue day one, like Mercedes. They had to go back and redo some things. But that engine, I think it'll be better, way better than last year. I'll say that. Carlos Sainz looks like, and that's another one, guys. Let me know what you thought about Sainz running the Ferrari. Babyface, I will tell you this. He didn't look comfortable at first in that car. He looks like he has to get used to it. They look like they have to still work some things out with that car. But I still think they'll be competitive enough. I don't know how competitive compared to the top 3 or 4 teams, but I think they'll be competitive enough. Again, Carlos Sainz, great young driver. He did a great job for us. I don't know if he was fully comfortable with that car, but it's a new team. He has to learn some things about the car. He has to learn the team. I think it'll be okay for him. But we'll see. We will see. But overall, I felt all the teams. I think this is going to be a good year. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about testing. I think this is going to be a really good year. The rookies look okay. I'm excited to see what Yuki does. I think that's going to be a surprise team, way more competitive than people were thinking. AlphaTauri. I think Alpine's going to do. They're going to be a problem, babyface. If that Renault engine, if that engine holds up and they perform like they did at the end of last season, they're going to be a problem. Because, again, Alonso may not be your favorite, may not be my favorite, may not be you all's favorite, but he doesn't look like he missed a beat. He doesn't look like he has been away at all.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's been racing other series, but he's been racing.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see. I didn't mention Lance Stroll, but I think he'll do. If they have that car dialed in like I think they do, and by the way, no more of the controversy from last year. They've not carried over so-called copycat designs, none of that. This is a whole newly designed car. New sponsors. They have a new state-of-the-art facility. So from what I hear, so I think they're going to be. Lance Stroll's really turned this around, and I think that's going to be an issue for a lot of teams because they look good. They look really good. So I think we're going to see this year what people have been asking for more. You won't see Mercedes 1-2 this year. You'll see it a lot less than what you did last year. Especially if they throw in these sprint races, guys, where I guess they're trying to bring in a new audience. So on a Saturday, you have qualifying Friday, sprint race 100 kilometers on a Saturday, main Grand Prix race on a Sunday, right? So I think they're still working those details out. Maybe 3 races they try that. So I'm not sure. We'll see where they are. I think they mentioned Silverstone, a couple other. But I'm still thinking they're working out the details of it. I think the drivers were on board. I think they all said yes because I have a feeling they don't think it's going to work. So they're just like, okay, just get out the way so we don't have to do it again. And I think they're trying to, for me, babyface, trying to do all these changes. I don't quite get the point. Everything changes next season. Whole new rules. Totally different cars, different wheel sizes and everything. So I don't quite get the point of changing anything now, but we'll see. We'll see. What do you think, babyface? How do you think your team's going to finish?
I think you're right. I think Mercedes is likely going to be split. If not by the Red Bulls, I can see the Aston Martins getting in there. I can also see the McLarens getting in there. I didn't watch as much of testing as you did. I think you watched all of testing. But I think 2021 is going to be very exciting. But what I meant to ask your opinion on is because the rule changes are coming up, do you feel that maybe there's a team, or maybe more than one team, that has taken the approach that perhaps 2021 is a throwaway season? It's a season that we're going to see where we land. It's just like, do you get the sense that any of the teams are treating 2021 as almost like a whole testing season rather than actually aggressively chasing the championship and the points, knowing that 2022 is going to be a clean slate, if you will, with brand new rules and everything is going to change? And everyone thus far saying they're focusing on 2022.
Yes. Ferrari. And the customers of Ferrari.
Okay.
I think Ferrari, Alfa, Haas have taken that approach. I think the other teams have developed the car for this year, and they still have the budget to do more, to do the same thing next year. Because they want to win, right? Aston Martin had to develop a car this year because they wanted to prove we're not copying off Mercedes. They don't even have, I don't think, like McLaren, they're just a customer, so you don't see Mercedes logos anywhere on the car. I believe it's the same for the Aston Martin. Guys, forgive me if I missed that detail. I have to go back and look. But I believe it's the same thing. So, Alpine, I think, new branding. Cyril's gone. They had some turnover at the higher level in that company. So I think they did develop a car. I think they did enough to be. They want to be best of the rest this year. So I think they did enough to try to compete for best of the rest. McLaren did what they normally do. They're a bigger team, bigger budget.
So based on what you've seen in testing, where do you just roughly estimate the end of the season landing teams?
I will tell you this. That's a very good question. I've been thinking about this. Hamilton could win his 8th, but I don't think Mercedes gets constructors.
Okay, so who gets the constructors? Just roughly estimate.
Red Bull.
Red Bull. Who gets runner-up?
Mercedes. Maybe.
Third.
McLaren. Because Danny Rick looks phenomenal in that McLaren.
Fourth.
Aston Martin.
Fifth.
Alpine. Oh, no. I'm stuck between... I'm not sure, but either between Alpine and AlphaTauri. Those two positions can switch.
Okay. Seventh, because then Alpine and AlphaTauri could be 5th, 6th.
Ferrari.
Ferrari 7th. Okay.
Either 6th or 7th. They can flop between... Those 3 teams can finish in 5th, 6th, or 7th. Those 3. Not sure.
8th.
8th is Alfa Romeo.
9th.
I take that back. I'm going to leap of faith here.
Okay. You're going to say Williams.
Williams. Then Alfa Romeo, then Haas.
Oh, Haas dead last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dead last. And they have some controversial colors. It looks like they have the Russian flag colors on the car, which you're not allowed to do because of the doping scandals they've been going through with the athletes. You can't, like if Nikita were to win a race by chance, they can't do the Russian national anthem from what I understand.
Really?
Really. They're saying that is, if you look at that Haas, guys, let me know in the comments. Is it just me, or does that Haas not look like the same color theme as the Russian flag?
Okay, so what you're saying is that Ferrari will most likely have to battle it out with Alpine and the
AlphaTauri team.
AlphaTauri team.
Yeah.
Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, and Aston Martin are going to be battling it at the front. Okay.
I think Red Bull's... Look, let me tell you something. Red Bull, guys, let me know in the comments. I can't stress this enough. Honda's last year, they're taking over the building from Honda, I believe. Honda did not, from what I understand, did not hold back on the horsepower. I think them and AlphaTauri are going to be a problem for every team out there. And the reason why I say that is because that car looked better this season in testing than last year. But if it's dialed in, I've told Babyface this, I think Perez and Verstappen split Hamilton and Bottas.
Yeah, so definitely something to look out for.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know what you thought about testing. All your thoughts about all the teams, your predictions. I feel good about this year. I think it's going to be exciting. Some new stuff they're trying. We'll see how that works out. Babyface, what do you think?
I agree with you. I haven't seen as much of testing as you have, as I mentioned, but I'm very excited for the first race that's coming up. So I can't wait to see how the teams look on the first official race.
We'll see. I got to go back and watch some P1. It's one of my favorite things to do, watch practices, because I get a sense of how they may do. But I guess the next video we'll do fantasy lineup. We'll save that for Sunday.
Yeah, we can do that.
Save that for Sunday. So, guys, once again, this is Formula for Speed. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think. What do you want us to cover? What didn't we cover? And we'll cover anything you guys suggest that we may have missed. So again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.